This news update is brought to you by...
This is how we flow. Oh, the offers are quite exciting, and the prices will leave you smiling. Everybody's got a cheerful glow.
Get 2 months of free movies and more when you sign up for Flow TV this Christmas.
This is the Barbados Today evening update for Thursday, December the 24th, the Christmas Eve edition. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. A strong word of caution to motorists as lawmen report over 10 vehicular accidents, one of them a mass casualty situation. The first in a series of collisions resulted in one driver seeking medical attention following a two-car smash-up at Spencers Road, Christchurch this morning. As a result of the 4:45 a.m. accident, one of the two vehicles, a Toyota Corolla, went up in flames. Meantime, the driver of a transport board bus narrowly escaped injury early this morning after the bus he was driving burst into flames. Tyrone Agard of Boscobel in St. Peter was traveling along Isolation Road in St. Andrew when fire reportedly broke out just after 6 this morning in the rear of the vehicle. There were no passengers on board at the time of the blaze. Another smash-up was reported at 6:30 a.m. along Silver Hill Main Road, and that accident involved a minibus driven by Winston Lewis of Arthur Seat St. Thomas and a car driven by Dennis Tate of Silver Hill Christchurch. Now, two female passengers had to seek medical treatment for chest pains. Now, around 2 p.m., 12 passengers in a ZR vehicle narrowly escaped serious injury after the vehicle crashed into a Nissan Sentra motor car. 9 of the passengers were taken to hospital by ambulance, while 3 were treated at the scene by paramedics for minor injuries. Now, the route taxi was driven by 65-year-old Oscar Maloney.
I feel this bumps, this thud, and I stop. But I stop the same time. There's 2 or 3 ladies that was actually in the back of the vehicle, not seriously injured. They can't tell you to the extent how they were injured, but I know some of them were already gone to the hospital.
Reacting to these and at least 8 other accident reports, police spokesman David Welch appealed to motorists to apply greater caution going into the holidays. A man is in custody assisting police with the murder of Cally-Ann Gill. Gill, a mother of 7 children, died at Niles Road, Farm Road, St. Peter yesterday evening after she was stabbed by an assailant. The incident occurred sometime after 5 p.m. yesterday. Her brother Troy Gill, who was on the scene, told Barbados Today that he is saddened by her sudden death, while her mother Althea Hines says she will take responsibility for the children who are obviously hurting deeply. Meanwhile, Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite is extending his condolences to the Gill family. He said that the stabbing was the only domestic violence-related death for the year, and he is attributing this to proper policing methods. At the same time, he is looking for a significant reduction in gun-related crime next year. In a review of 2015, Brathwaite told Barbados Today violent crime, especially through the use of firearms, continues to be a major challenge for the Royal Barbados Police Force. The continuing backlog of cases clogging up the court system is also worrying the Attorney General, but he's optimistic this would be reduced with new measures being put in place.
We're actually looking to see the number of cases that we have within the system, to see how many of them we can get out. We're looking at using mediation more and also dispute resolution, so that only the more serious cases, only the cases that really have to be in the courts, will reach the courts. I'm optimistic that we should see some headway next year. I think the good thing about next year is the fact that we actually start with a picture in terms of knowing what we want to accomplish, so we'll be able to, at the end of the year, to gauge how well we've done in terms of the number of matters that have been solved via mediation, etc.
In news of sports, the Board of Control for Cricket India has decided to revoke the suspension imposed on bilateral tours with the West Indies by clearing India's tour of the Caribbean next year. The approval is now subject to the West Indies Cricket Board committing to complete last year's abandoned tour of India. Although the BCCI has not commented on the matter, the WICB President Dave Cameron said through a media release that the BCCI President Shashank Manohar had confirmed India would tour the Caribbean in 2016. It is understood that both men spoke over the phone earlier this week to reach an understanding.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
We pick up with news from the region where the David Granger government is reporting that it has recovered millions of dollars in back pay to employees. More in this report from Capital News.
Minister Brooms has made some sweeping changes in the area of occupation safety and health. She said it was a challenging and exciting period over the past 6 months. Brooms said from May to December 10th, the ministry recovered $59 million of owed wages to workers.
Between the period January to May, $20 million was recovered, bringing the total to $79 million for the year. I can assure you that by the end of the year, the total will well cover over $80 million. And this is compared to $31 million recovered for the entire period of last year.
And finally, an overnight fire at a hospital in southern Saudi Arabia leaves at least 25 people dead and hundreds more injured. We get more in this BBC report.
The fire ripped through the hospital in the middle of the night. Some of the most vulnerable patients caught up as it took hold of the maternity and intensive care wards. Eyewitnesses say it quickly got out of control, leaving little time for those inside to escape a fire they say was caused by an electrical fault.
A nurse came to me and informed me of a smell of a short circuit on an upper floor. I took the security and maintenance supervisors with me as well as the nurse and headed towards the area. At the foot of the stairs we were met with smoke and loud screams from men and women upstairs. We were not able to control the situation.
Inside, the scale of the devastation is clear. The charred remains of beds and medical equipment are the only remaining signs of the care given in these wards. Fire investigators are already working to establish exactly what happened and how the blaze went on to claim so many lives.
That's our Barbados Today evening update, but join us first thing on Monday for the very latest. You can also visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb for more news and sports. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, our screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM. From all of us here at Barbados Today, a very Merry Christmas to you and yours. And we leave you with a sweet Christmas tune from one of our editors, singer and songwriter, Ridley Green, better known as the artist Mask, accompanied by some sights of Bridgetown.
Joseph was an old man was he, when he wedded the Virgin Mary in the land of Galilee. When he wedded the Virgin Mary in the land of Galilee. Joseph and Mary walked through an orchard so good, where were berries and cherries